we have the best HCI lab in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because it's true. No, honestly.
No, it's true, but
I only applied to Usask. I only sent an email to one professor, and I got accepted. But other people have not been this lucky. But I've heard that Indians are very, very supportive of each other. So
I hope so.
it's usually the Indians are the examples. The money you earn at the university is much better than the money you earn, let's say, by working off campus.
Okay. How much?
We have seen students coming to the lab, starting their research, not being able to finish it.
And you are also doing your research, which is funded, right? So would it be okay for you to share how much funding does HCI students get? Or here, the work environment is a bit different than what it was at Iran.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how different, or in what sense is it different? Is it more relaxed? Is it more stressful?
I've often heard that not a lot of professors are free to guide and help their students.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, but in my case, after that, I found out a lot of students had contacted many supervisors and even many universities. I only applied to Usask.
Okay.
I only applied to Usask. I only sent an email to one professor, and I got accepted.
Do you get paid well for teaching assistant, or is it included in the stipend? Hello, Maryam. How are you?
Hi, Yuvraj. I'm good, pretty good, thanks.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, chilled. It's a Friday afternoon, and I'm not that busy, so I'm feeling good.
Excited.
What about you?
I'm feeling great as well. How excited to be on the podcast?
Yep, I'm very excited, especially because I don't know what you're going to ask me. Embarrass me.
But it's nothing gonna be embarrassing. I'm gonna keep it simple. Just asking a little bit about
I hope so.
you. Yeah.
Let's kick it off.
Just to start off, I know you're from Iran, right?
Yep.
And you did your bachelor's in Shariat, technical, vocational,
Yes.
and you did a bachelor's in computer science.
It was, well, computer science, I can't really say that, but it was software engineering. So yeah, software engineering.
How was studying in Iran like?
It was good. My university was good, but it wasn't one of the prestigious ones. So I remember that I wanted to study somewhere that wasn't really, really intense. And also my scores in the national exam for the university wasn't that great, so I couldn't even be accepted at one of the top 3 universities, even if I wanted to. But I was pretty happy with my university, so yeah.
And how did you plan to come to University of Saskatchewan?
So once I finished my bachelor's and I got my degree, I started to study for the entrance exam for the master's program, because in Iran you have to participate at a nationwide university entrance exam, and then based on your score.
Which exam is that?
Well, we call it Konkour.
Okay.
And it is nationwide, and it's super scary. You have to attend. Sit that exam once before you want to study
abroad.
Bachelor's. No.
Just bachelor's. Okay.
And then even for the master's, there's another one. So for each degree, you need to sit that exam.
Okay.
So after my graduation, I studied for 1 year, and my purpose was to...
you studied?
At home,
okay.
Just for the exam.
Okay, just for the okay.
Yeah, I studied 1 year for the exam to increase my chances of getting accepted at a prestigious university for my master's. And it paid off. So I was accepted at one good university, and it was a master's program in artificial intelligence.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, well, I accepted the offer and I studied there for 1 term and then I decided to drop.
What was the reason behind dropping after working so hard for it?
Yeah. So many people told me that, oh, you've been studying for 1 whole year. What are you doing? Do you even know this is one of the greatest universities here? And honestly,
Which one was it?
Amir Kabir University.
Amir Kabir?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And a lot of people or a lot of alumni of that university are naturally gravitated towards the best universities in the States.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone told me, like from friends, from family to professors, classmates, told me that, no, you're doing a big mistake. You're making a big mistake. And I was like, but I'm not enjoying this, you know? Yeah, I'm not enjoying this, so I'm gonna do what I want to do. And the reason was that I was not enjoying the vibe of the university that much. Well, the department, I should say, because each department is different.
Yeah.
No offense to anyone in that department, because I know that lots of people enjoyed it, but it wasn't for me.
Mm.
And I didn't like the courses, and I didn't like AI that much. It occurred to me after studying for 1 term there, and it was very intensive, super intensive. And Usask is pretty chill when you compare it to that university. Yeah, so I decided to drop out, and I did. And the funny part is that I decided not to study anymore.
Okay. And for the people who might be watching from Iran, can you please share what kind of study did you do to get into Amir Kabir University?
Honestly, I can't really remember because...
Did you follow any specific books, or was it more like set syllabus?
So there were, as I remember, there were some tracks that you could participate. I chose the AI track.
Mm-hmm.
And
what are these tracks?
Software engineering was one of them.
No, I mean, what are these tracks? Like, they are just different options that...
Different options, yeah. How to say? I don't really know the English name for them, but...
That's fine.
Yeah. So it is computer engineering track AI.
Okay.
Computer engineering track software
Okay.
Engineering, something like that. And the other one was networks and something like that.
Different
again.
branches.
Yeah, branches. Yeah. I chose AI, and there were a specific range of courses
Mm-hmm.
that we needed to study. And I went back to my notes, and sometimes I didn't have good notes. So I bought some books. And what else? I remember that I downloaded the previous exams
Mm-hmm.
and tried to answer the questions. Yeah. But
That
yeah,
was
as I
that was
said,
the
that
mainly
was,
that was mainly it, right? For studying for the Amir Kabir University.
Mm-hmm.
Previous year's exams and coursework and
Yep.
making notes.
Yes.
That's how you were able to get into the...
Yeah, probably. I mean, I kept meticulous notes on certain subjects that I really liked. So that really helped me. Yeah, I got accepted like that.
And before talking about your University of Saskatchewan experience, I also want to know, how is Iran like? How are the people of Iran like?
I'm pretty sure that you've met a lot of Iranians here.
I've only met a few.
No,
Not
you're
as
joking.
many. No, I'm serious. I only know like a few Iranian words like chitori. That's just like to greet someone, right? I don't know much. I've only met a few people, Iranian people, But I don't really know how's Iran like as a country, and what are the people of
You know
Iran
what?
like?
Honestly, you should go and visit since our countries are not that far.
But it's not a bus ride for me, right?
No, it's not a bus ride. No.
Still, yeah.
Yeah. Iran's a pretty good country, especially the education is very good, I think. So most people, like most Iranians agree with me when I say that the level of education back in Iran is higher than here.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the facilities in the universities are not even close to here.
Okay.
So we just go to a very basic, simple campus, and we've got classrooms, but we don't have as many, let's say, extracurricular stuff that you do have here, back there. And yeah, I'm not going to start my journey here, but yeah, it is different. The university vibe is just studying and studying and studying. But it's mostly course-based.
Okay.
I mean, you do have to deliver a thesis, but here is more research-based
Yeah.
than courses.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how did you, like, after studying so much in Iran, how did you at what point did you decide that now I want to go and study abroad, not continue here? Because you could have easily worked there, right?
Yeah. So after I dropped out, I decided not to study ever again. But at some point, like, well, there was a gap between my master's, for my unfinished master's program, and the one that I started here. And in those years, I worked, I traveled, and I wasted time. All three at the same. All three. Yeah. And then
worked as in like computer science work, or
no. It was completely something different. I was
working. Was this also the one you did in Czech Republic?
My work experience?
Yeah. You did volunteer.
Yeah. So after after I dropped out from the master's program, I volunteered at a program. So I was basically going to be with a group of international people traveling from this corner of the Czech Republic to that corner and talking about our countries and culture. So it was a cultural volunteership, and I really enjoyed it. And after I came back, I decided to find a job. Mm-hmm. So I got a job as a video editor.
Okay.
And a graphic designer.
Nice.
In a very small company. Mm-hmm. It was an architectural company, and my job was to, I was kind of a jack of all trades. I was not doing 3D modeling, although I really liked to learn it, but at that point I didn't know anything about that. So I started by making assets, 2D assets for the company, and also architecture visualizations, stuff like that, and also video editing. And after working there for 1 year, I told myself that's enough. I need a change because I can't be at one place for a long time. Uh-huh. And I told myself, well, I had already told myself that I don't want to study anymore, but if I ever want to study, it's going to be abroad, because I know what the education system in Iran is. And at least in that university, it wasn't to my liking. And I needed a change. But apart from that, I think that I'm an adventurous person, and I wanted to experience something new.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, if ever I'm going to study again, I want to go and study abroad, which brought me to here, finally.
Nice.
Yeah.
And about the cultural volunteer program internship that you did, how did you get that and how did you apply?
Well,
Is it for everyone or is it just for
it's
Iranian?
no, it's for everyone. There is this student organization named Aiesec,
Okay.
which we do have a branch here
Mm-hmm.
at Usask as well. And at that time, they were promoting their programs, and we had one at the university. So I attended an orientation, and they were talking, yeah, you can travel, and you have the opportunity to meet people, to work with people. And honestly, to me, it was the best experience ever. And even the outlook of it seemed very, very interesting. Like, well, you get to travel. And some part of the expenses were covered by Aiesec.
Uh-huh.
Like the accommodation was covered and food. Not the flights, but yeah, so I was like, whatever. They're just giving me this opportunity. I don't
Adventure.
care. Adventure. It's time. It's now or never.
Yes.
And yeah, I went to that volunteer program. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much. I learned a lot. And after that experience, I am more sociable than before.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. So now you're working with Professor Cody Phillips, right, at Usask?
I have two supervisors here,
Okay.
Professor Dr. Madison Klarkowski and Dr. Cody Phillips.
Okay. And how did you choose USask? And I know they're in HCI lab, right? Human Computer Interaction Lab.
Yeah.
And how did you choose HCI for your further adventures? And how did
yeah.
you choose USask? Because there are so many good universities in like Canada,
That's true.
right?
That's true.
And with your background, you had video editing profile, right? And you also had 1 year of AI work done at one of the best universities in Iran.
Yeah.
And
For me, it was very clear that I don't want to do anything AI related.
yeah,
That was clear.
but you could have still gone to some of the other universities, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
why USask and why HCI?
So I told myself that, well, let's just study a master's, but I don't want to do a master's in software engineering or AI. So what was it that I really liked to work with? I thought, well, video games are really cool.
Yes.
Everybody loves video games.
Mhm.
And I haven't done any research about video games. I had never made any kind of video games. So for me, it was totally new. And it just occurred to me that this is going to be a fun challenge. It was going to be a challenge for me. I didn't know anything about this field, but it was fun. So I took a look at the universities in Canada, which offered a program related, at least, to the video game field. And I found 2, maybe 3. I think I found 2. The University of Saskatchewan and the University of Waterloo.
Okay.
Why did I choose the University of Saskatchewan? Because we have the best HCI lab in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because it's true. No, honestly.
No, it's true, but
The Department of Computer Science here
Mhm.
is very well known for the HCI research. So
Okay.
the amount of publications and the work we do here is, it's very important for the HCI community in the world, and we are usually present at prestigious conferences.
Okay, so the HCI research or HCI lab that
Yeah.
is available at USask is better than University of Waterloo's.
Yes.
Nice.
It's the best.
I didn't know that. Yeah. And I forgot to ask you earlier, how did you apply for HCI? Like, did you send an email or?
Yes, it was during the COVID times.
Okay.
And as I was looking through the universities and programs, I chose USask, and I was looking at the faculty of USask. So I saw my supervisor's name, and I read that she was doing research in the field of video games. I sent her an email. She was new here in the University of Saskatchewan, so she told me that she's not taking any students that year.
Okay.
And it was the first year of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next year, I sent her an email again. And I was not expecting it, but she told me that the second year she said that, well, I remember you, yeah, and I'm taking students this year, so you can apply. I was very happy that I got the acceptance from her before I applied to the university. And I applied and I got the position.
So how did you write the email? What was it like?
It was a very basic, simple email. And I still remember that I wrote, I really am not interested in doing a PhD after this. I want to enter the industry. And yeah, it was a very straightforward email.
Okay.
Nothing too long.
And did she ask you anything specific before?
We had an
accepting?
interview.
Okay, what was the interview like?
Do I remember? The interview, well, she wanted to know what I had done in my bachelor's, and if I knew what I was going to sign up for, because she said, well, this is not traditional computer science. And she explained about what work she had been doing. Yeah, and gave me an insight into the whole thing.
She didn't ask anything from you during the interview for the research or before accepting you as a...
Well, I had sent her my transcript.
Okay.
And she said that it was good, not bad. Yeah.
Your previous work and transcript was enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I didn't have to do a project or something like that.
Okay.
And send it to her for her to see and evaluate my work. Nothing of that kind of thing.
And did you also send your resume or anything?
Yeah.
Okay, resume and transcript.
My resume, my transcript. Yeah, that's it.
That was it?
Yeah.
And just a basic general email that you send to your professor? Okay.
But I was lucky because after that, I found out a lot of students had contacted many, many supervisors and even many universities. I only applied to Usask.
Oh, okay.
I only applied to Usask. I only sent an email to one professor, and I got accepted. But other people have not been this lucky.
Yeah, I know, because students tell me that they have to email so and so and so and so many professors, so many universities.
Yeah.
Not only Canada, but they also try like
oh my God.
USA, Japan, Germany, and then.
My God.
But like in your case, it was like.
In my case, it was super easy.
Yeah, first break, right out of the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was lucky. And how's your research been like?
What's it about?
What's it about? How has it been so far? And how has it been working under the HCI?
Okay.
First, I would like you to tell a little bit about HCI. Like, what is it about?
So HCI is basically human-computer interaction. Whatever activity that requires the name is pretty clear.
Yes.
Whatever a user wants to do with a computer falls into the category of human-computer interaction. This could be from the field of video games to, let's say, interface design or data visualization. Yeah, all of these fall into the human-computer interaction domain.
And what's your research is?
So my research revolves around player experience and what affects it.
Okay.
So I'm looking into which game features can improve player experience. Yeah, so that is one small sentence to sum it up.
Okay, can you elaborate a little bit more about the research experience and what you exactly have to do?
So for our research, we were looking into the subjects that my supervisor's grant was about.
Okay.
So her grant was in the field of esports, and she told me that you can choose anything as long as it falls into the esports domain or video game domain. And so I was having this course with her, and in that course we were discussing about player self-efficacy, players' dominance, stuff like that. And
What are those things?
so self-efficacy is basically your own belief that you can achieve a specific task. So if I, for example, say you have to play Mario Kart, do you feel self-efficacious, or do you see it in yourself that you can be successful at this game or not?
Okay.
So if you have that feeling, then you have self-efficacy. We wanted to, with my research, we want to increase that feeling via game features. And those game features can be from anything like progress bars to tutorials to, let's say, NPCs.
Okay.
Yeah. We are trying to see what if these features affect self-efficacy and also, let's say, player dominance.
Okay. And also, you mentioned, already mentioned that here the work environment is a bit different than what it was at Iran.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How different, or in what sense is it different? Is it more relaxed? Is it more stressful?
It's more relaxed.
Okay.
And it's something that I like about at least my lab. Well, let me tell you that based on the things I've heard from peers from other labs, I've noticed that it is different from lab to lab. So it's not like I say, well, the University of Saskatchewan's labs are all the same. No, they are different. And I've realized that the HCI lab is pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, so approximately how many hours would you have to be putting in for your research per week, if you had to quantify it?
So I started doing my research after I finished my courses. In the first 2 terms, I had to pass 4 courses. And as soon as I was done with those...
So you did 4 courses in your first term?
No.
Okay.
2 courses in the first term, 2 courses in the second term.
Okay.
4 in total. And then I started to look into the literature and see, well, what's going on. And after that, I decided, well, we refined our research topic, and I was looking into the features, the game features that were related to self-efficacy and stuff like that in the literature, and it took me several months even. And after that, we started the real thing, and I had to build a video game and implement those features in it. So I can say that the average hours could be 5 to 6 hours a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your research, is it more like you have to, is it more practical that you have to have people coming in and test out some things, or do you have to do manual testing by yourself, or do you have to design?
I think that's the best part of HCI, because you actually have real participants in your studies. So after I made that game and I implemented those features, I had a couple of questionnaires. And how we did conduct the study was we chose an online platform to host our study, because honestly, bringing in 120 people to the lab and let them play the game could be chaotic. So we decided against it, and instead we put it online. We gave our participants instructions, and yeah, that's how we conducted the study.
Okay, and how many studies do you have to conduct before, or is it like as many?
I had 2 studies, 2 that were related to each other. So one fed into the other one.
Okay.
And
how?
now I'm done with all my studies.
Oh, nice, nice. And how has it been your experience working with the professors?
My supervisors, you mean?
Supervisors or Professor
professors.
Phillips or?
I am really fortunate to say that I had a very positive experience working with both my supervisors and the professors I had courses with. So my supervisors have been very supportive. And
do they help you in your research
and
a
they
lot?
help me a lot, yeah. They help me a lot. I've often heard that not a lot of professors are free to guide and help their students.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, but in my case, I was very fortunate to have supervisors who helped me a lot, especially because, you know, this wasn't something that I had done before. It was completely new to me. Because it is human related, I had to deal with some psychological constructs, which I knew nothing about. So right now I can say that I know a bit of psychology, I know a bit of statistics, and I know a little bit about computer science.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you learned that from Usask or on your own? Psychology, statistics?
Psychology and statistics, I learned them because I wanted to do my research.
Okay.
So I learned them here
At Usask?
at Usask.
Oh, nice. And after, like, how long is your research? How long does it take you to complete your research? Or is there not a specific time?
Do you mean from now on?
Not from now on, like the whole duration of your research, of your master's.
The whole master's
HCI.
program often takes 2 years plus some months. And I hope that I can finish it in 2 years plus 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the norm.
That's the norm?
That's the norm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how does it end? Do you have to submit a thesis, or do you have to have some other
Yes.
Credentials or criteria?
We don't really need to submit a paper to
Okay.
any conferences in order to graduate. Just the thesis is enough. But because I've done the work, my supervisors told me that it's a good idea to submit a paper to a conference. And then I agreed because, yeah, if I've done the research, if I've done the work, why not write it up?
Yeah.
So that's our plan right now. So my plan is to write 1 full paper and submit it, and then try to expand that paper into a thesis.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can you also share, like, what are the possible careers after doing HCI?
Well, if you want to be...
You've already mentioned, like, video games and stuff.
Yeah, if you want to work in the field of video games, then you have the option to become game researchers.
Okay.
Yeah, game researchers. You can go and work at AAA video game studios, but the competition is very, very intense. So
what do they usually require from their candidates to have?
Research experience,
Okay.
mostly.
Yeah, if you're applying for research position, then you would definitely be wanted to have a research experience, right?
Yeah.
Other
Yeah.
than that?
Well, probably some soft skills.
Okay.
And apart from that, I think that they do care about if you are in line with their intentions of the research.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That part is difficult because I've heard that some researchers do not really agree with the way the companies want to lead their research.
Mm-hmm.
So things like that happen.
Okay.
And it's honestly, I haven't been looking at those positions. But yeah, it's something that
What
people can
are
apply
some of the
for.
other possible career options in HCI?
Well, you could be a data visualizer.
Okay.
You could work as a game designer. You could work as a game developer even. Why not?
And you are also doing your research, which is funded, right?
Yes.
So would it be okay for you to share how much funding does HCI students get? Or
yes, this is
yeah.
public information. It's on the it's on the university's
Website.
computer science department's website. So I came here in 2021, and at that time, the yearly stipend was 21.5K
Okay.
Canadian dollars.
Mm.
But they increased it to, I guess, 23,000 a year
Okay.
because international students and also everybody saw an increase in their tuition. So they increased it to 23,000. I'm not sure about the coming year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you think it's enough for a master's student?
If it's enough or not, I assume that everybody is different.
Yes.
But
I've
pays
heard
your rent.
like yeah, because
it pays your rent, it pays your food. And if you don't want to do
like are
a
you
lot of
able to save a lot or no?
oh, saving? No.
Yeah, because
No.
I
You don't
hear,
save, but you live.
Yeah, because I hear some of the other master students, they say that 23,000 funding is really not enough.
It's not enough at all.
Uh-huh.
It's not enough. I live at the university residence,
Mm-hmm.
which is relatively cheaper than other places. And I still think that I can't save anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because I need to pay the tuition from my stipend, I need to pay my rent
Okay.
and other living expenses.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And if you had to tell someone who's planning to come to HCI lab or want to have a career in HCI, what kind of skills should they acquire or work on? If you had to suggest.
It really depends on the field. So there are professors who work in the video games fields. There are professors who work in the field of data visualization. So for people who work at that field, they do have a lot of programming to do. So it really helps if you are a good programmer, know how to code, not just know, but be good at it. So it really depends. The only coding aspect of my research was developing a game.
Okay.
So if they plan to make a game, then it's better for them to know how to code in, let's say, C# because I developed my game on Unity.
Mm-hmm.
And Unity uses C#. But apart from that, yeah, I just did TAing for courses. And for TAing, I needed to know Python, which I knew. Yeah. So the most important thing is to have interest, passion about what you are doing. Because we have seen students coming to the lab, starting their research, not being able to finish it.
Okay.
And that's because they didn't have the passion to do their research. If they are really interested in this field, then they need to apply.
Okay.
If not, I think they should choose something else.
And one more thing I wanted to know was that is HCI only coding based, or are there some areas where you don't
No.
need? Okay.
No. Definitely not. So a lot of our students or researchers even are not even from a computer science background.
Oh, okay.
So they have backgrounds in psychology, let's say. They have backgrounds in neuroscience. And they are still able to do this work because they are very strong at the psychology part of our research, which I was very weak at. And yeah, it works. If they don't have any background in computer science, then video game research or game research, yeah, in general.
They still can.
Definitely. Definitely. Is for them.
Nice. And how has your experience been as a teaching assistant? You've been doing that for almost 2 years now, I guess.
Yes, it is a mandatory part of our program because we get funded. It's part of our stipend. So as a first year, they give you markings because you are an international, for international students. Marking is an easier way to start your TA experience. And it's not that much. So every week or every 2 weeks, depending on the course that you have, you are going to mark students' assignments. And you are free to do it at whatever time it suits you. So you're not assigned hours.
Okay.
But if they give you tutorial leader positions or help desk hours, then you need to be online or you need to be in the classroom and be there, basically. So if students have questions, they can come and ask you, or if you need to lead a tutorial, then you need to be there.
And do you get paid well for teaching assistant, or is it included in the stipend?
It is included in our stipend, but we don't have it during the summer. So if we have a teaching assistant position, then it will be extra.
Extra.
And the money you earn at the university is much better than the money you earn, let's say, by working off campus.
Okay. How much?
I think it's $22 or $23 per hour. Not
For
really sure.
a grad student?
For a grad student?
Yeah, I mean like a master's student, right?
Isn't it the same for everyone?
Well, when I did TA, it wasn't anywhere near $20.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Yeah, because I think it's
I
according
didn't
to,
know that.
Yeah, but it's good, 23 per
Yeah.
hour. Yeah,
I think it's good.
it's better than working anywhere off campus, unless you have a really good gig going on outside, right? And how has your experience been teaching the students or handling their queries when you're in the lab?
Oh, I only had one tutorial leader role, which was last year. I was a bit nervous before it because I didn't know if students are going to ask me difficult questions that I wasn't able to answer. This happened, of course. But I just told them, hey, you know what? I don't really know the answer to your question, and if you want, I can go and do some research, find out, and follow it up with you. But most of the time, the experience was fun. most of the time the students don't know a tiny thing, so you just pinpoint that, and they're very happy.
Okay.
As if you did a great job, but it's just a small thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I know the feeling, because when you're stuck on something, there are times when you just need slight help.
Yes.
Right. You might be doing so many things, but all of them are going wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get like a small help, it just changes you, and you're so delighted, and then you can move on.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you make progress.
And someone else was asking me if, as a marker, you have access to the solutions or the answers to the questions.
Do you?
Or you need to go and figure it out yourself. But no, you do have access to solutions and answers.
Even the exams?
No, the exams are not done by students.
You don't have access?
No, we don't mark them. The
Okay.
professor marks them.
Okay, but do you, if the class is online, do you have access to the online exam? Or midterms, final exams?
I don't really think so, because on pause or on Canvas,
Mm-hmm.
on Canvas there are roles.
Yeah.
So the professor does not allow the
You do, okay.
TA role to have
Okay.
access to the exam.
Okay, nice. And how has your experience been, other than of computer science, Usask, generally of Saskatchewan?
Oh, living in Saskatoon?
Saskatoon. Do you like it?
Pretty good, yeah. I like it. It is cold in the winters.
Uh-huh. But is it like that cold? What people say?
It depends on the person. I like the cold. Nobody believes me. But I really like going out for a walk when it's -30.
Okay.
But a lot of people don't like this. So I can't really tell if people are going to like the experience of living here, because I know some people who hate this city because it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some people who like this city because it's, let's say, quiet. You don't have traffic jams here. And the sky is amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is the land of living skies after all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there anything else you would like to share for Iranian students who might be planning to come abroad in Canada? Anything you would like to say?
Well, when I came here, I was a bit worried about not being able to catch up with the lab because of language barriers. But honestly, the people here are very supportive.
Okay.
And they know that you are an ESL student.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not as fluent as them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that they consider, and if you don't understand them, they help you.
Okay.
Like, they elaborate, and yeah, it's not a scary thing. So,
And what about the Iranian community here? How do you get in touch with them? Is there, are there, you mentioned there are a lot of Iranian people. I don't know them, but I don't know them.
Yeah, there is a big community of Iranians here. So some of the Iranians here are students.
Mm-hmm.
Some are residents. I don't have a lot of interaction with the residents. I know a couple of Iranian students.
Mm-hmm.
The experience I have here is good. But let's say that because I live with other people, because I live at the residence and my roommates are not from Iran,
Yeah.
I mostly hang out with non-Iranians.
Mm-hmm. But if someone is coming from Iran and they have to get in touch with Iranian people, how would you do that?
Yeah, there was an Iranian student association.
Okay.
I don't know if they are still working or not.
No, even outside the university, if someone is not coming to the university, how would they get in touch with Iranian community?
There are groups on Telegram.
Okay.
Yeah. Telegram app.
Just Telegram or Instagram, WhatsApp? Are there anything other like?
I only know about the Telegram
Okay.
groups that people share stuff with each other, ask questions, try to answer some people. Yeah, it's through that. And I've heard that people help, especially the newcomers.
Mm-hmm.
They help each other. But I've heard that Indians are very, very supportive of each other.
Yes, I hope so.
It's usually the Indians are the examples. It's usually like that, like
Like the
look at
benchmark?
Indians, yeah, look at the Indians. They're so supportive of each other. They help each other.
So are the Iranian peoples jealous of Indians, or are they more like, a healthy competition?
No, they're not jealous.
Okay.
They just try to push themselves to be as good and as supportive as the Indian community.
Mm-hmm. And where do you think they can improve?
Lots of areas.
Lots of areas.
Lots of areas. But one good thing is that the Iranian community has been raising some funds
Uh-huh.
to fund Iranian students. And I guess they will start this fall.
Okay.
Yeah. So they will give this sum of money to the university, to CGPS, and CGPS decides who deserves the award.
Okay.
It's not like they choose the person because,
Okay.
well, they don't know all students here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a positive step that the Iranian community took, and I liked it. Wow.
Maryam, yeah, thanks for the podcast. And
I enjoyed it. Thank
yeah,
you.
it was lovely chatting with you. I knew a little bit about, now I know a little bit about Iran. And I would love to meet new Iranian people through you. Be more, going into
Just
the...
walk on the campus and you'll meet plenty of them.
The thing is, they don't say hi, right? I feel like they're generally shy people.
Well, if they don't know you, there's no...
What's a good
They will
way?
never-
What's a good way to approach Iranian people?
Yeah, just say hi and try to do activities
Mm-hmm.
together and don't rush it.
Okay.
Maybe I should say that. Yeah. And
I
don't
will.
be intense.
Okay, I will do that. And thank you again for doing this podcast with me.
It was my pleasure.
Yes, I got to know a lot about some of the Iranian studies you did, and then your research work here, and video editing that you do, and how you conduct your research about that, and the application process a lot. It was lovely chatting with you. Thank you.
Thank you.